Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good day, whatever part of this beautiful world that you're located. Welcome to More on the Road with Bernard Moore the Third, presented to you by More and More Sports Management. Nothing but more is what we are all about. Thank you for tuning in this beautiful Saturday, July the 15th. Like I stated, I sent out a message saying that things would get started a little late because we had a whole fun-filled morning. Had to take care of some very important business this morning, so that's the reason why we get started late. But I really appreciate you guys' support and love that you're showing for us on this show and all that we are doing. So I really do thank you guys for what you're doing, your support. I would say something yesterday, which was July the 14th. We had an event scheduled. We had an event scheduled that was supposed to take place, a benefit basketball game, the coaching cancer benefit basketball game. But some things changed. We had to make an adjustment. We had to cancel this year coaching cancer benefit basketball game. There were some things that were a little bit out of my control. However, things still must go on. So now we're definitely getting ready for our upcoming event. I know that you definitely going to be excited about it. It's the annual Old School Hoop Fest. So you may see me looking at the screen because I'm trying to do some things as well as put some things on the screen while I'm moving around. So we're getting ready for the Old School Hoop Fest that will take place July the 29th at Lanier High School. So definitely tune in. Former JPS student athletes taking it to the court. Come on out, have some fun at the annual Old School Hoop Fest. I think it's the eighth year. I've been I got so many wires crossing and all that good stuff crossing, and I'm forgetting what year it is, but I think it's the eighth year, if I'm not mistaken. But just come on out, have some fun. Here's the QR code for you too, if you want to definitely tune in. Definitely like to be a part of. You want to sponsor, you want to help volunteer, if you're a former JPS scholar from Bailey, Callaway, Forest Hill, Lanier, Provine, Jim Hill, Murrah, Wingfield, you're definitely capable of coming and participating in this benefit game. So definitely join us at the annual Old School Hoop Fest taking place July the 29th at Lanier High School. I say if you want more information, you can definitely go on to our website at www.mms-management.com. If you want more information, you can visit the website to see what we have. If you want to be a part of it, enjoy all the fun. Definitely come on to it. It will be a source of entertainment. I know some of the participants, some of them still got game. They still want to give their all. Man, it's just fun. It's a source of entertainment. We're not trying to come out and drop 40 on somebody. Like I know some people will definitely try to do, but it's just how a lot of fun fundraiser for the Friends of JPS Athletics to help coaches and scholar athletes of JPS from high school to middle school, whichever sport, to do some things that they're trying to do. Definitely, this is nothing that is coming from athletics. What I'm about to state, this is nothing coming directly from athletics. I, me, Bernard Moore the third, would like to see an improvement and all the facilities that are up under the JPS Jackson Public School umbrella. I would like to see all those facilities updated, from the football field, from the track and field, from the baseball fields, the softball fields, the soccer fields, the press box, the concession stands, the parking, the gymnasiums, all that good stuff. I would like to see personally. I would like to see that those things updated. So if if I'm hosting an event, it's for a purpose. So don't think that I'm looking trying to fatten my pocket. If I'm hosting an event, if you see more and more sports management attached with it, it is for a purpose because we're trying to help raise funds so that we can do some things. I'm putting myself in as well, so that we can do some things to our facilities, to help the organization, to do other things, not just for themselves, as well as the Patriots, the individuals that they're serving. So again, if you see more and more sports attached to it, it is something that we're doing to help better the needs, to help fulfill the void something type of resource that that particular organization is lacking. So again, if you see me doing something, it's definitely for a reason. It's not for self. It's definitely for a reason. I'm just doing the work that the Lord has asked me to do. It's just simple as that. That's all we can do. It's just do the work that the Lord asks us to do. Excuse me for being religious. For those individuals that think that this is a religious show, this is based and founded based off of sports. Yes, but I don't only just talk about sports. Talk about things in the community, things of this world. So I have some things I definitely would like to share in reference to what's going on uh in society today. And I'm just speaking in general of here in Jackson because that's where I'm from. That's where I was born. That's where I'm still continuing to be raised here in Jackson, and it's a lot going on here in Jackson. Now, not pointing fingers and not trying to what's the word I'm trying to say? What I'm really asking is for the citizens and the residents of Jackson, Hinds County, Mississippi, the United States of America. Something that I think that we need to figure out what's going on. Why sometimes we go to other places and we destroy those particular places, then we go back to our place and don't want nobody to come and mess up our place. Then somebody come mess up our place, then that's an issue. But you would so kindly and freely go mess up somebody else's place. Now you looking like, man, that was a whole lot of nothing to say. That was a whole lot of something to say a whole lot of nothing. Yes, I ride around the town, the city, ride around the city of Jackson's, from the backwoods to the major streets, to some in the cut, some in the back areas. And you see trash on the highways. I've seen individuals driving down the street and just completely just throw a bag out on the highway. Bag that they just finished using, bag that they purchased the goods and they utilize the goods, but then they just run down the street and just say, "Hey, we throw the bag out the highway, throw the bag out the window onto the highway, streets, driveways, whatever." Why would you do such something like that? Because for one thing, that is breaking the law, littering, and also polluting the world. Now, I know we have some type of recycle programs, and which I think that we definitely need to focus on our recycle programs more so that we can reuse a lot of things that we're throwing away, like the plastic bottles, paper, what else could they recycle? Metal, things along that can be recycled, that can be reused. So I challenge the cities, the officials, of the environmental scientists, whomever, something, go ahead and really spark on the recycle programs because that can definitely help out a lot. So we can reuse some of the stuff that we're just completely throwing away. As I know, we go through a lot of bottles. I go through a lot of bottles of water, and I use a lot of cans, and I drink some sodas, and I drink Powerades and plastic bottles. That sometimes I reuse them for other things to pour in it to drink in. Sometimes I trash it. I remember that there was a recycle program in Byram. I think they probably just ceased it now because some of us were putting plastic bottles into the containers. Then some of us were just putting trash in it. And so it states that it's only for plastic containers, plastic bottle, but we start putting trash, our regular trash in it. And you kind of wonder like, why are you putting garbage and recycle bins, because that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to recycle so that things can be reused and so that we can have so that the world can be better, basically. But we would just throw stuff on the highways and keep on ticking and won't think nothing of it. Now, what I've seen individuals, they clean up houses. I applaud you guys for that. You guys, you go up, clean up the houses. You're trying to make a, and you're making an income. You're providing a source of, you're providing a service. But then you go charge. the individual X amount of dollars, and you take it and you remove it from their piece of property, in which again I applaud them. For one thing, I applaud the business that you're establishing. You're providing a service, you're providing a source of income for yourself, and you're also providing someone else a job, because I know that you're not going to move all this stuff yourself. So I applaud you for that. And I applaud the customer to saying that they want to remove some of the things, some debris, the things that they're not using from their particular place of residence, from their residency, and try to get rid of it. Somebody can, some things that some people get rid of, we can reuse, yes. And some things that we have, we want to tend to just hold on to them and hold on to them forever, yes. But once we want to remove it, man, I'm getting torn, twisted, tied up, and hold it together, shaking together, and the cup runneth over. But we get those things and we move them along. The services provided, you collect it, you remove from their property. They're happy now. They can do some things. They're making room for better and greater things. But then those individuals that provide the service, some of them, they don't want to go pay that little extra money so that they can dispose of it legally, and potentially it could be recycled and be reused for something else. Because I've seen, now I know I'm going back and forth. I've rode through a few cities and towns, and they've take old things and made art out of it. That's good. Again, they're using someone else's, what we consider junk, or something that we're trying to get rid of, and they're reusing it to provide a calm place, a source of art. So they're recycling. I've seen old bicycles that they made of a piece of art. I've seen some old aluminum cans, or some type of pipe. They made art out of it, and I applaud them for that. They'll make a little art district, make a little art scene, make a little park and scenery that they upkeep. I applaud you for that. But some individuals that provide a hauling service, that they tend to, again, they provide a service to individuals that want to remove some things from their home, but then they take it and just go throw it on side of the highway. To be honest with you, now, if I'm gonna pay somebody to remove something from my yard, I expect you to do the right thing beside it. But sometimes they will go down a dark road, or a road that is being unused a lot, and just remove all their trash on side of the highway. And I know I've stated this once before in previous shows, that some of the issues that we're facing when we're facing with water issue, what we have facing with pipe issue, because we throwing garbage on the streets, and when it rains or floods, guess where that garbage is going to go? It's going to go to wherever source where that water is flowing, and it's going to go somewhere. So typically people throw stuff beside creeks and think if they throw it in the creek, it's just going to wash away. Yes, it's washing away. It's washing away, and it's clogging up something so that the water won't flow through, or it's polluting the water sources. And you're having issues with, you're having poison in water. You're having individuals drinking some bad water. So you see how things go. But we do have a water system where it's supposed to filter the water once they get it from that particular source, like the ocean, the rivers, the creek, whatever they get it from, the reservoir. It's supposed to be a filter system, and when they're transporting the water into the homes, for drinking purposes, it's supposed to be a filter there. But if I'm attempting to filter some harsh compounds or some harsh objects, we may just stop working. Because as individuals, if we're doing some work, if we're doing a job, we have to do, this is our job. This is our job, is to separate trash and useful compounds and useful things. But we only say put only your food and paper in here. Now listen to this. We only say put food and paper. We don't want anything else. Any glass, bottles, plastic, all this stuff goes somewhere. So I just want food, your leftover food, and paper goods, such as napkins, or a wrapper that the food that you're eating come out of. Like, when you go to the restaurant, they wrap your food up uh in a wrapper, your sandwiches, they wrap them up. Those are the only two things that should go in this particular thing. Everything else goes into the other. I just want food here, and I want paper here. So what if we start putting plastic in with the food? What if we start putting glass in with the paper? So you see how things get mixed up, and then when people start really doing their work and they start trying to separate it, man, why are they constantly putting stuff in here that should not be in here? That's how the filter system work. If I'm constantly getting things that shouldn't be here, sometimes the systems, as I say, the system has feelings. They're just gonna quit. And you look like, man, what's this dude talking about? Hey, it's just the way that we operate. Again, this is more on the road with Bernard Moore the third, presented to you by More and More Sports Management. Nothing but more is definitely what we're all about. If you'd like more information, visit our website www.mms-management.com to learn more information. Also, you can locate our social media profiles and our platform and our old previous shows that we recorded on the website. Just click the link, the YouTube link, or the More on the Road logo, and you should see how to get to our websites and how to get to our other shows, to learn to see what we've talked about, some of our guests that we interviewed, things along that line. You can definitely go to the website to learn that. Now, back to what we said, in reference to trash on the highways, definitely be mindful of that. Stop trashing up our cities. And sometime uh, our workers, they don't really want to do tour because sometimes is, as I said, we're repeating things over and over again. If I've had a service call, a ticket to go clean out this particular highway, go clean up this particular road, and I go clean it up, it's done. Yay, good job. Thank you. Thank you for for responding to the request and getting the job done. Then I'm constantly getting those tickets, those requests, those same things that I've already done. It becomes irritating. I'm just being truthful. It becomes irritating. Like, when are the people gonna learn? We'll get out of state. Stop trashing the highway. We'll put signs up. Stop littering, loitering. A fine X amount of dollars. And then once they start, as they say, holding you accountable for it, then they say that then you're gonna say that they're picking on you. But you shouldn't do what you did. You shouldn't throw trash on the highway. There are places for it. There are places for everything, but not the side of the roads, because it is devaluing the community. It's devaluing the neighborhoods. It's devaluing people's property. It is the state and the city, but then you state and say, well, the city or the state or the county, they're not doing their job. Again, it is irritating for someone to continue to go back and do something and which they've already done before, and they've stated, don't do this here again. Just no, just stop. Then you say, well, I wasn't informed. Well, it's not right for you to throw trash on side highway. I know I've driven and rode through the towns of Hines County, the cities and towns of Hines County throughout the state of Mississippi, and even in other states. Sometimes it's depressing when you're driving by, you see people just throwing trash on the highway, or you're behind a vehicle on the street and they're just throwing stuff out the window onto the highway. And man, what am I having a gripe session right now? Because that's leading to something else. I'm not pointing you guys out. You can take it however you want to receive it. I'm not calling you out. You're smoking in your vehicle, and then you're gonna flick the butt or the rest of the cigarette out the window onto the highway somewhere. People vehicle that have leaks in them, and if you flick it out on the highway and something sparks from a car that's behind you that has a leak in it. Yes, do they need to get it fixed? Yes, they need to get it fixed. And then whoosh, there goes a big blaze. Just for you flicking your cigarette outside the window. And that what caused a lot of forest fire. I was talking with the gentleman in reference to the West Coast. And the West Coast is it's a lot of trees, it's a lot of open area in certain areas of the West Coast. And that's why they tell people really stressful, be mindful what you're doing with fire. When you smoke your cigarettes, you flick it out the window. Be very mindful of that because the area is dry. It doesn't have some type of moisture, but it's dry. That's why I have a lot of wildfires along the West Coast in California and Oregon and Washington. It's a lot of wildfires along that West Coast because of the dryness of the area. And then we go out and spark something out, get a cigarette. I know you smoke a cigarette to calm your nerves, just like some people drink to calm the nerves. They need the nicotine to calm them down. But once you get through with it, make sure you completely put it out, dab it in some water, something, and then put it in a trash can or put it in an area that is designated for those particular substance. Again, it goes back to recycling. A lot of business, a lot of facilities now, some people are really definitely trying to stay away from smoke because secondhand smoke sometimes can be harmful just as firsthand smoke. Man, so now you saying where are we going with all this stuff? So I'm going from one thing to another because it's leading to something else. When talking about one thing, it leads to another subject. A lot of buildings have designated areas for people to smoke because some people go stand beside what gets me. This what gets me. Now, I understand that you want to smoke because some people have come to me about me drinking energy drinks. Some people have said, no, you shouldn't drink energy drinks. It's bad for your heart. It does this, it does that. Yes, again, they're looking out for my health and concern. I appreciate that. I really do. And so I've kind of modified my drinking of the energy drinks. I try to drink some that are sugar free or something that is something different about them, just like you drinking bottled water. So some people say the plastic is bad for you. There's always going to be something negative about something. So some people may look at me like, why does this dude keep on talking, yelling, and pointing at the computer? There's always going to be something negative about something. So hey, it is what it is. Now back to smoking. I know people that smoke cigarettes. I've ridden around in vehicle with people that smoke cigarettes. I've talked to individuals that smoke cigarettes. I've sat there and watched people smoke cigarettes. Now, what gets me now, I'm not a smoker, and sometimes I definitely try to stray away from smoke. Uh, Being respectfully, I try to stray away from smoke. So if you smoke it and I kind of walk away from you, I don't think that I'm being disrespectful. I just can't. I just don't want to intake the smoke. And sometimes now you, oof, walking through the towns and cities and walking to certain buildings and walking past individuals, you're gonna get, as I say, a contact high because in certain areas, marijuana is legal. And some people, that's what they reek the smell of marijuana. Some people don't like the smell of marijuana because some scent, certain aroma scents are not is not pleasant to the nostril to the smell. So again, with somebody smoking cigarettes, I don't think that I'm being disrespectful if I kind of walk away from you because you smell like smoke and sometimes it can be irritating. But what I'm leading to, alluding to, is a reference to individuals that smoke. Yes, I know you smoke a cigarette again to, as I say, calm your nerves, to keep you calm, cool, because you possibly potentially had a stressful day. So you want something to just, as I say, bring you down. I understand that. And employers have gotten to a point now that they have designated area because they don't want to be discriminating. So they have designated areas for individuals that want to smoke, and they provide them with the tools and resources to smoke. You got your ashtray, things of a object or a tool that is built and designed to hold cigarettes, hold fire, the smoke of the cigarette, to disposal of your cigarette butt or disposal of your cigarette ashes. So they have designated areas for that. And so certain corporations have areas like that. But what gets me, that people will stand right by the door where the entrance to the building or the exit to the building, people will stand right there by the door and smoke and puff their cigarettes. Stop that. That's not a good area to smoke in. I know some people, they move the ashtrays or the standing ashtrays or whatever, the uh the tools or the resources that the employer provided or the building owner provided you for you to smoke. They provided you with those particular things, and some people will move it to the area right there by the door and sit there and smoke right by the entrance door or the exit door where people coming in. And I was like, come on now. Everybody doesn't want to smell that smoke. Everybody doesn't want this smoke. Doesn't want to smell like smoke. Everybody doesn't want to smell the smoke. And also health reasons. Some people they inhale certain things, they may start choking and coughing and hacking, and it may flare up their allergies. And then here we go again. Now we got to deal with this. So you understand. So just be mindful of what we do and how we do certain things. And everything that we do, someone is gonna love it, someone is gonna like it, someone is gonna just deal with it, and some people just gonna flat out hate it. So everything that you do, make sure that it is somewhat doing the most ethical thing, the right thing, and being respectful of other individuals. Now, again, if you want to go, if they build a closet, a little small closet, or give you a room for you to smoke in and blow whatever, stay in that room. Again, they've designated areas at certain employees or certain buildings. They have designated areas for you to sit there and smoke. So don't stand right there by the entrance door and smoke because people are coming in and out the door. Everybody don't want that smoke, as the people say now. You don't want that smoke. Everybody doesn't want that smoke. I know I don't want that smoke. So be mindful and be respectful again. While what you're doing, referee. That again, this is more on the road with Bernard Moore the third, presented to you by More and More Sports Management. Nothing but more is definitely what we are about. You want like more information? Go to our website at www.mms-management.com for more information about what we do, and also have access to our social media sites. Like us on Facebook, follow us on YouTube, and all the other good stuff. Now, in reference to the city, in reference to not just Jackson, I'm speaking in reference to a lot of cities around. We just had Vacation Bible School at Zion Tribe Missionary Baptist Church, 925 West Pearl Street, led by Reverend Dr. Daniel Watkins as our pastor of Zion Travelers Missionary Baptist Church, and we will just have Vacation Bible School, and we was centered around the book of Nehemiah. Nehemiah is an Old Testament book. Nehemiah, it was a lot about Nehemiah. I'm gonna read some information to you about Nehemiah. About the book of Nehemiah. In the ancient Hebrew manuscript, the books of Ezra and Nehemiah were written as if they were one, but the title, the words of Nehemiah, the son of Halashiah, clearly indicated the beginning of another book and justified the separation which was made in the Greek translations at the early period. While the temple was rebuilt by Zerubbabel, it was the work of Nehemiah to rebuild the city walls. He went from Babylon for this purpose 13 years after Ezra went there to establish the law, that which moved him to the undertaking is set forth in the first chapter. This distress did dis, dissipate, which overwhelmed him from hearing that the city, the place of his father's scepters, near was lying waste and its gates burned with fire. It's accounting for if he had previously thought that since the return of so many captives, the walls had been rebuilt. Thought that since the return of the many captive walls had been rebuilt, though by it was supposed by some scholars that they had been rebuilt and had been again thrown down within the 13 years just mentioned. Now, that book really stood out to me during Vacation Bible School, and so I had to relate. I related to what we're facing right now in certain cities, certain towns, certain parts of this world. We're facing things like Nehemiah. We love our home. We want our home to be the best. We love where we were raised and growing up. We want it to be the best. However, there's some things that are changing right now. We've allowed individuals to come in and to disrupt our home. We allow individuals to come in to destroy our communities. And some of that are the individuals in our home and those individuals in the community. Now, I'm not going to sit here and say that I grew up in a perfect neighborhood. I grew up in a perfect home. I did not. It's my fault as well. So I'm taking responsibility of that also. So I feel like Nehemiah that where we were raised, where we were taught, where we were built up to be the individuals that we are right now. Some have left home and some have never looked back. I understand everybody has things, do things a little different. God speak to us differently. God works with us differently, but he's not respecter of one man. What I did for him and her, I would do for you and her. So just think it as that. God is working with us differently, but we all must work with God. Now, our particular areas, if we're still here, they're being destroyed. They're being turned into things that are unpleasant, things that are sore to the eye. What are we looking to do to better that? Now, again, we can sit here and talk and meet and gripe and go before government officials. We can sit and meet and gripe before some leaders in the community. We can sit and meet and gripe about a whole bunch of good ideas and a whole bunch of nothing. But what are we doing to change that? I would say we as citizens, we as individuals, we cannot wait on the government because the government is only going to do so much, because the government is only going to do so much of what they are allowed based off of what they think the community needs and what versus what the community actually needs. Now, sometimes individuals and the government officials or they fail to ask. Now some have asked, but say some, not all, but some fail to ask. Go to those particular communities and say, hey, what do you need? Some of us may think we know what they need, but some things that they need, they are reluctant to share because they feel that I can tell you what I need, but are you going to help me with that need? Or are you going to just say, hey, well, I can't do anything about that. That's not what I'm supposed to do. Or are you going to find a type of way to say, hey, let me see if we can make that happen, or how do you feel that we can make that happen? How can we work together to make that happen? Instead of you telling me what I need, you telling me what you need and just expecting me to do what you need instead of saying, hey, how can we make this work together? So again, Nehemiah was his city that he that his forefathers built, that his ancestors, that his people built. And so he left off and went to another particular land, just as some of us have. Some of us have gone to different areas. Some of us have gone to different lands from which we were raised. What may have taken us out? That is life, school, job, family, or some people just want a new scenery. Some people are trying to get away from something because they see that they're trying to make a difference, but they're not being supported to make a difference. So whatever your reason for you to leave, that's between you and your God. Again, God talks to us differently, but He's one God and He's gonna work with all of us. And He's no respecter of man. So again, word got back. So Nehemiah was depressed and he felt that he needed to go back and do something. So that's basically what the book what I received out of the book of Nehemiah, that he did something, he grew up and he was taken to another place for a particular reason, only God knows. And he received word that something was happening back in his hometown. So he felt that he needed to go back and do something. Now, this is something that some people look at and say, why? Nehemiah left. He received some training. He educated himself. He bettered himself. Some things that were done differently from where he was from compared to where he was at the particular time. And so Nehemiah went back and took the information that he has learned in that other area and went back to his hometown and started to attempt to make a difference. When there's someone that is attempting to improve the particular area, there are some individuals that are steady trying to turn that person down that is trying to help build up. Now, every time that we do something, And every time that we attempt to do something, there's always going to be supporters. There are always going to be cheerleaders. There are always going to be encouragers. And there are always going to be someone that's going to try to pull you down, that's going to hate against what you are doing. So I would advise you, do what is right. Continue to do what you do, because there are always going to be individuals that try to pull you down or discourage you from doing what you're trying to do. And you're definitely trying to make a difference. As I say, the job of the enemy is to come kill, steal, and destroy. Don't allow the enemy kill your dreams, destroy your purpose, and steal the joy from you or the eagerness that you have in doing what you're attempting to do. Now, if you're attempting to make a difference, make sure that you attempt to make a difference that's going to better not just self, but better society, better ones around you, better the ones that you are directly impacting. Now, I've talked to individuals and state that we need to help make a difference in the communities, and it starts with the youth. And they say, how can we help make a difference in the youth? Do we need to get all the youth together, sit down and talk with them, continue to show them some love, and then send them on their merry way? That's good. However, what are we sending them on to? That's the question. So there are some homes that are very disruptive, and it is tearing away from that child that you're attempting to build up. So those homes, so that environment that they're going into is being disrupted. So the work that you have done to continue to build that child up, they feel excited. They are feel full of zeal. They're eager. They want to do it. But then it go back to the individual where they're really torn down, and sometimes they really listen to those words and they receive those words, and then it brought down. So they went from here where you're trying to build them up, and again, when you build it up, you build it up by steps. You can't build a building without a plan. You can't build the building without the foundation, or laying down the foundation. You can't build the building without the proper tools and resources to structure that building. And you can't build the building without, again, teamwork and work together, or putting pieces together to help hold the structure building up. So when we're talking about speaking and working with children, sometimes it's not just that particular teacher, it's not just that particular principal, it's not just that particular mentor, and not just that particular parent or parents with an S, to help build their child up. Yes, parents are the first teachers in the child's life, because when that child is in that mother's womb, that child is interacting with so many different environments. Wherever that mother goes and carry that child in that womb, that child is picking up on all those different type of environment. May picking up on some good music, some alright music, some bad music, some just grating music, or maybe picking on some good conversation, some alright conversation, or some disgrading, degrading conversations, or it may pick up on some good food, some alright food, or some food that is just plain disgusting. So again, the parent are the first teachers of that child. So if the parent mind is correct, or the parent mental state is stable, that child will be correct, or that child will have a good mental stable. Now, let me kind of put a pin right there and talk about mental health. Now, I'm not a mental health expert. I will reach out to some of my mental health friends and sit down and chat with them so that they can be on the show, so that they can give their expertise of their knowledge about dealing with mental health, because that is something, one thing that we definitely lack of for talking about mental health, especially in the Black community. We don't want to go see a counselor, because for one thing, we don't want to go see a counselor because people gonna think we're crazy, and that's a term sometimes that we misuse. That we definitely misuse. That just because I go see a counselor, so you calling me crazy because I go see a counselor, or you think I have mental issues, so now I'm crazy. Everyone has a mental issue. Now, what that mental issue may states or whatever, I'm not going to sit here and say what it is. Everyone has a mental issue. Now, just bear with me a few moments while I look up. I'm gonna give you the Webster or the educational meaning of mental health. Now, let me pick that pen up in reference to, as we say, teaching that child. Now, the parents, yes, are the child's first teacher. So, whatever environment that parent is in, that's gonna benefit that child. So, parents try to provide a comfortable or a stable environment for their child while he or she he or she is in the womb, because that right there can tell what that child is going to develop to be. Now, some of us may say that we want our child to be a superstar. Well, help prepare that child to be a superstar. So that means that you need to put that child in things that can develop them to be a superstar, so that they can continue to grow and to be a superstar, because they are what they are around. That's seeing you are what you are around. If you're around a bunch of people, individuals that use curse word, guess what you're gonna use? You're gonna use a lot of curse word. So definitely be mindful of what that child is around. And so now go back to that. This is a teamwork, and we need to work together with this. Now, again, that parent sets the foundation. That parent comes up with the plan. I'm gonna say that parent has the plan for that particular child, as well as what's how they want that child to develop. So they go with the plan. When you're laying in bed, now again, I'm not condoning premarital sex, so don't sit here and say that I am. We all made that mistake. So God, Father, God, forgive us for the mistake that we have made, our premarital sex, in reference to what we did. But not looking down on anyone about that. But again, when you make plans for children to raise a child, again, when a child is in the womb, you put that child around a positive environment so that that child can receive a positive environment, so the child can grow up in positive atmosphere. Now, when a parent makes that plan, some of us write it out, some of us chat about it, some of us we have different many ways of writing a plan. Some of us don't even have plans. Just have the child and just say, hey, it is what it is. So once the child is here, we have a plan. Just like I said, when we're building the building, we create a plan so we know how to design it. What is all needed for this building to be what we wanted to use it for. So when we're creating this child, when we're planning out this child, how we want this child to be, parents, you go ahead and lay the foundation of where you want this child to be educated. So you're gonna teach them, you're gonna educate them, you're gonna read to them, you're gonna talk with them normally how we're talking. And sometimes you may teach them another language or speak them a different language at an early age. So it's best to start when they're young at an early age, as at a certain age. Now, again, once we teach the child the basic fundamentals of how of being a child while they're at home or in your presence, and preparing them for the future, and then that's where it comes in. You lay the foundation as a parent. Then we send them on to school, where they're going to be taught arithmetic, where they're going to be taught language arts, where they're going to socialize, where they're going to learn about science, where they're going to learn about history. So then we send them on to their particular school. And again, the schools are designed to as a stage, a stepping ladder for that child to learn. Now, some children will learn quicker than the other. So don't look at them different because you have a child that excel at kindergarten, and he's on a first and second grade level based off of the assessments and the study that our um, teachers and educators and professors have created. They've created assessments, and so that's how we come up with the different grade levels. They're saying that when you're at these different milestones, when you're at this age or this level, you should be doing X, Y, Z. So that's why they created these different milestones. So again, some children excel for than what the study has shown. So continue to be with your children, continue to educate them in what they do. And again, it takes a team to help raise a child and create a productive individual. Then once you send them to school, they should receive a positive environment because it's a school setting, and the teachers there are trained to how to provide a positive environment. But Once they get into that school, here comes the social issue that some of us may face, because a classroom supposed to hold in a public school setting should not hold no more than 20 to 25 students. So you got 20 to 25 different attitudes, different backgrounds, different ethics, different I mean, oh guys, now I forget what I'm about to say. Different, this is diverse group of individuals. So you're dealing with 20 to 30, 20 to 25 different attitudes. And so this child was raised up in this type of environment. So now when they go to school, they're in a different environment, but they hopefully they will take what they learned in their first environment and take it to school and continue to grow up on it so that they can share, or as they say, share, or I've already said that, so that they can share, or so that they can teach each other how to act and how to behave in certain different environment. But you have a few that are living in a pleasant household. You have a few that are living in a all right household, and you have two that are living in a household full of hell. And once they get together, get to school, guess what? Sometimes always win. Most of the majority of the time will win. It's the house that is full of hell. And because they bring that different attitude to the classroom or to that environment, and it disrupt the environment. So the teacher that has a positive uh mannerism of themselves, and they try to share amongst the students that they're working with, but then you're gonna have that one that's full of rage or whatever, and it's gonna disrupt the class because that teacher is constantly going back and forth with that individual. But some teachers would just go ahead and take and remove that particular that negative vibe out the environment. And then some people may say the teacher is being wrong. Now the teacher want that negative environment, I mean that negative vibe out the environment so that they can do what they need to do to help those other individuals that are there to learn, that are there to better themselves. So that's what I mean by it causes a team. So that individual, that teacher, that administrator, principal, whatever they do, whatever position that they hold, they try to continue to encourage positive behavior. Now, again, you may have some individuals that go all off the far end, or they've gone in the wrong direction, and they're doing things that are unethical or against the rules that have been set for them. So again, everybody's not perfect. There's always an issue somewhere, but parents, teacher, coaches, supporters definitely continue to show the students love, or show these individual love, because you don't know what they background that they come from. And like I say, that's the reason why some people act the way that they act. However, you can make a change, just like you change into that negative environment, you can change into a positive environment. Sometimes you just have to be receptive of the change. And it's not going to be easy. You just have to receive it. Hopefully that you will receive the change and you'll be all right, because we're trying to make things better, not for worse. Now, I said all that to get to this part. Mental health, I think again, this is an issue that we fail to talk about sometimes. Mental health. Oxford Dictionary state mental health as a noun, a person's condition with regards of their psychological and emotional well-being. And it gives a sentence. All this pressure seems to be affecting his mental health. Again, mental health is the person's condition with regards to their psychological and emotional well-being. Some of us psychologically are jacked up because of the environment that we've faced, of the environment that we've been a part of. And our emotional well-being is jacked up as well because of we've been degraded, we've been belittled, we've been talked about. And so emotionally we just can't handle it sometimes. And then when someone is trying to not pacify it, but someone is attempting to heal those particular destroy emotions, or those destroy psychological well-being, then their father gets, and then it's somehow some people don't, some individuals don't know how to receive gratitude. Some individuals don't know how to receive love. Some people don't know how to receive thanks, because I've had an issue sometime uh with receiving help, because I can say that sometimes I've act stubborn, and try to do a lot of stuff on my own without asking for help. And sometimes that's the issue for me. Sometimes I'm of receiving help, individuals helping me. I feel discomforted, but I'm getting out of that. That was the old Bernard, so now I'm feeling better. I'm allowing individuals to help, just like I asked for some help for some benefit games that I was hosting, and I received a flood of help. And now I'm seeking help again. I'm seeking help again for the benefit game that I'm about to host. That is coming up soon. And I know some of y'all are aware of that benefit game, the annual Old School Hoop Fest, which will take place July, yes, July the 29th at Lanier High School. Definitely come on out and join us. If you definitely like more information, you can log on to our website. That is the QR code. You can just go ahead and scan the screen, and hopefully that it definitely will come up. You can scan the QR code, and we'll take you to our website. For those that want to volunteer, and be a part of it, I would advise them, hey, scan the QR code. It's going to ask you for a questionnaire. And the comment section, just say, hey, that you want to volunteer to help us out because we would need some help in all different aspects of the game. So definitely come on out and support July the 29th at Lanier High School. Again, you'll see more information on the website. So go to the website to get more information in reference to the game. So again, I know that was one thing that I did have an issue with, or I did have an issue with, I was seeking assistance. I don't know why sometimes that we are at a position where we do things and we want things done a certain way. That's just how I was. I want things done a certain way. And some people, when somebody you ask somebody to do something and they don't do it the way that you ask them to do it, they do it their way, but they still accomplish it. Then you get stubborn. Nah, I got it. I'm fine. So definitely come on out and join and support in what we're doing. But I want to give a shout out uh to a friend. Now she I was kind of, how can I put this? I love my sisters. My biological sisters. I love my sisters. So don't take this in a different way. My sisters, I know that they're possibly looking at the show. I still got number love for you guys. But I just want to give a shout out to my sisters who I call her my sister. They took me in when I was a student at Jackson State. They took me in as like a family, so they're like family to me. It's like an extended family away from family because again, when you go to college, depending on what college you go to, you're far away from home or you're right down the street from your home. I was right down the street from my home, but I spent majority of my time on the campus of Jackson State. The I love, yes. And these guys in this picture, this was with some of my coaches. These guys in his pictures, they were all like uncles and fathers and brothers to me because they took me in and they cared for me. They we had ups and downs. They fussed at me a few times. I received it. I received the correction, and I had to make things better. So yeah, this group of guys, these coaches, they were like brothers and fathers and uncles to me because they took me in and they provided me with wisdom and knowledge. I put it that way. So they took me in. I much respect and much love for all those guys. Some are no longer with us, and some are here still kicking around. So for those guys, I know this possibly they could be looking in. Who is that? Coach Asbury, Big C, Roberto Williams, Homer, GP, Graylin Pratt, Coach Wright, Tonio, the hurt Dr. David Justice. Talked with him a couple days ago. Now, who's no longer with us in the picture of again my guy, Coach Ben McGee, and the judge who's standing center in the picture with the Hawaiian style shirt. That hey, that was just his style with the stopwatch around his neck. The judge, Coach Robert Hughes, I said he was like another father figure to me while I was a student at Jackson State. So he took me and his family. They welcomed me in as like their son. But now to get to where I was trying to go, I just want to give a shout out to Miss Tony and her business, with her lovely daughter Ayana. I mean, not Ayana, Aliyah. Forget it, Alina. Alina. I'm forgetting the name. I'm giving her all the names for that. Alina. And Ivy Oils Essential. They're at the Trademark Center. It's a vendor fair that's going on. Not sure how long that they're going to be down there. So you got some essential oils, Ivy's oils and essentials, some what else down? Because I just left from down not too long ago. See, that's why I had to go early today. Had to go take care of some business uh, at the trademark. So yeah, that's why I was. Certainly, that's why the show is a little late. But had to go down there. I definitely want to show support for them. in the business that they make. They establish a business. That's what consider her like my little niece. She started at an early age as a business. She took something that she enjoyed doing. She handcrafted some of those things. Her and the mother, they handcrafted, made those, made that. So kudos to them and what they're doing. Definitely go down and support them. So again, I'm not sure how long it'll be down there. Also, can find them on social media. I can't really see that link where it's on it somewhere. We can see the link of trying how to reach them. I really applaud them and what they're doing down there. So go down and see them at the Mississippi Trade Mart on the fairgrounds here in Jackson, Mississippi. That's again had to take care of some business, so that's why the show came a little late. Had to go down there and do something, and had to come here. And to you guys again, thank you guys for tuning in to More on the Road with Bernard Moore III, presented to you by More and More Sports Management. I also definitely want to give a shout out uh, to Warriors Creations. She went down and purchased some bracelets from her uh, that I am definitely going to utilize. I definitely like the bracelets that she has. I will put them up on the camera. I give a shout out to Warrior Creations. Some bracelets. I'm not sure if you can really see them. Just different bracelets. It's three bracelets, bands and bracelet with the cross. As being a child of God, definitely love to support the stuff with the cross. Try to wear a lot of stuff with um, dealing with religion base. Now I know I'm gonna show you some stuff that I'm gonna go ahead and get this on out the way because I really don't too much care for it. But I did have to purchase one. I really don't too much care for that. If you can really see it, let me be still. It's a bracelet. It's like a pin. The things I like this. Kind of like this. You can buy multiple different pins, different embos that she has. It's a bracelet. It's a different style bracelet that you make, and it has a locket on it where you can change accessories. This one I purchased also for somebody that I know that enjoys Alcorn. If you can really see it, it has an Alcorn logo on it, black and purple and gold. That stuff. So let me put that back in there. But you know which one I had to get one. So you know which one I had to get for myself. I had to get this one for myself, the one with JSU DI Love on it. If you can't really see it because of the lighting, has a JSU and a tiger logo on the JSU. The JSU with the tiger jumping over it. And I also had to get some bands for. I purchased some bands also for uh, gifts from my son, the Jacksonville Jaguar. He's a Jaguar fan. He's a Jacksonville Jaguar fan, and another son, he's a New Orleans Saints fan. It's black and gold, but had to get the best one, the one that I want to get. San Francisco, baby, going to the Super Bowl this year. May what this may put this on tonight. Yeah, so we'll go ahead and put this on. Really appreciate that Warrior Creations, who purchased the bands from her. So thank you so very much. So definitely look her up on social media as well. You can see her website information. I know she that's I kind of seen some of her things on social media, so I know you will find some of her products via social media, Facebook, and things along that line. So definitely, I'll take a look at it, and I really appreciate again, uh, Lisa Lena, Ivy Oils and Essential. Definitely take a look at them on Facebook. I know that they're on Facebook as well as Warriors Creation. Definitely take a look at them on Facebook to get more information in reference to some oils and some candles, things along that line. Whew, boy, I said a whole lot to say a whole lot of nothing. But I really thank you guys for watching, for joining us this evening. I know that I am a little late with the show, but I had to take care of some business early this morning. Had a funeral, I had a repast that we had to go do something for. Then I had to get down to the trademark again. So this is just part of what we do. More on the road with Bernard Moore III. Nothing but more is what we all about. I really appreciate you guys' support. Definitely tune in and join us on July the 29th. So I'm calling out those hoopers from Jackson Public School, the Bailey Knights, the Bailey Magnet Knights and Lady Knights, the Forest Hill Patriots slash Rebels, Lady Patriots, Lady Rebels, the Callaway Chargers and Lady Chargers, the Jim Hill Tigers and Lady Tigers, the Provine Rams and Lady Rams, the Murrah Mustangs and Lady Mustangs, and the I said Provine, and the Wingfield Falcons and the Lady Falcons and the Lanier Bulldogs and the Lady Bulldogs. The game will take place July 29th at Lanier High School, 833 833 West Maple Street, here in Jackson, Mississippi, in support for JPS Athletics. It's a fundraiser calling my former basketball scholars to come on out, have fun on the court. Again, it's a source of entertainment. So it's not for calling you to come up put up 40, 50 points. It's just all out of fun. Will be some trash talking, so don't take it personal. It's all out of love and fun. Man, I really appreciate you guys for joining us this evening. Again, this is Monroe Bernard Moore III. For more information, you can take a look at our website, log on and see all what we have going on. But I thank you guys for your support. Much love to you guys. I will chat with you all later. It's time for me to get out and go have some fun. 1 + 1 = deuces.